give Drake, I have no excuses. I give Drake all the credit in the world. Ray had them ready to go, as I knew they would. They played a little bit more determined, a little bit more desperate than the guys in the blue did. And I was worried about that, to be honest with you. I was a little bit worried about it coming into it. Guys are human. They look at records, and we know better. If we don't play well, we're not going to beat teams. And we did not play well defensively, especially, and just non-existent in the second half. We got lazy. You just look at their stats: 71.5%, 80% from three. Got to the line 25 times, and we're settling for three-pointers at the other end. So didn't have it. I thought we looked a little tired, but it's we tried to rest them as much as possible in the last couple of days and with your travel. But Drake was the hungrier team and the better team for the most part of that game and deserved to win.
Greg, what do you think Drake was doing offensively to create some of those defensive difficulties for you out there today?
They do a lot of good stuff. They have tremendous initial action where they're screening and they're cutting with a great pace. So we were trying to, in preparation for them, you have to be ready at the start of the possession, because if they give you, if you give them a couple feet, they're going to be able to get something good. And we were really worried about their three-point shooting. Obviously, that's a huge difference in the game, them getting 12 of them, 12 for 17, to basically beat us. And we gave their best shooters opportunities. We're usually a team that we especially with Ricks and Carrot, we were like no catch and shoot threes, and they got going right away to start the first half. So they got a good big guy around the basket, and both of those guys were banging awfully hard. But I thought the difference was our ball screen defense wasn't as good as it's been for the most part. We're getting hung up on screens, and them just executing very well and making shots.
You've had success in your wins with late game offensive execution, and today it wasn't there for you. Just talk about that.
Yeah, we weren't quite as smart. I think we towards the end of the game, as we normally are. Poor pass here, trying to be a little quick there, doing those things. When we moved the ball and moved, we got anything we wanted. We really got good stuff, but we got a little bit three-point happy, and I didn't want to do that earlier in the possession. You can always do that late in the possession. I think we had a critical turnover, missing a couple shots when the execution was pretty good for the most part. Our offense couldn't bail us out today because we never stopped them, and they shot free throws at the other end the whole time. So it was our defense, it wasn't our offense.
There was a stretch though that even though I think they were hitting a zillion threes, you still had managed to get kind of that 5, 6, 7, 8 point lead. But then they kind of cut you off going in the basket. Was there anything they did differently, or because you were able to penetrate more and then suddenly that just seemed to shut down?
I thought we got a little quick and a little too dribble happy, during that stretch. I think we're up 8. Were we up 8 or did we get up 10?
We did get up 8.
We got up 8, and they cut it back real quick, because I do think that period there we were a little quick offensively, and then them making a couple shots. But the way they shoot it, I felt like the whole second half they were at the free throw line. I really did. And if they're not, we didn't stop them. We were hoping they'd miss, and you can't do that. Their record's deceiving. Ray's doing a good job. They got good players, and they just beat us.
You turned it around. What got you guys to turn this season around? I asked that because Drake just now snapped a 5-game losing streak. You guys obviously reversed it. What was the key? What got you guys to go from where you were struggling to winning 5 straight?
The biggest, I think, was practices after Christmas got more competitive, and we went after each other. Before Christmas, our returners weren't playing very well, not near as well as they needed to. Our new guys were not progressing at the pace that they needed to, and I probably wasn't helping them good enough. So we've done a better job of that to the most part since we came back. But there's so much. But starting 5-0 really means nothing, because every game on the rest of the schedule we could get beat. I said that to these guys, they're going to beat teams. There's no question about it, because the way they shoot the ball. They competed hard tonight and were pretty physical, so they did a good job.
Even though Drake didn't hurt you very badly on the offensive boards, rebounding continues to be, a concern. How concerned are you with it at this stage of the game, and how does it influence games like this, where even though they didn't hit you very badly on second chance points,
we don't get them.
You don't get them.
We don't get them, and it's offensive rebounding isn't 100% an effort deal. You got to want to. You got to go do it. And I've talked to you about it before, Todd. I'm not a very good rebounding coach, just because I try to watch guys in practice, and don't want to get somebody hurt doing those things. So within the stuff that we do, we talk about it quite a bit. Obviously, it's hurt us, but you can create extra possessions real easy and get your, that's one, I tell the guys, that's one place you should be greedy. You can be greedy and selfish is the offensive glass, but we got a lot of guys that should be able to do it, and we're not doing it, so it's something we need to address. But again, our offense was pretty good for the most part, so I don't really think that's what beat us, getting those, because we converted at a pretty good rate for the most part.
Breton continues to emerge, and maybe he had some of those quick threes late in the game, but nonetheless, he doesn't look like a freshman out there anymore.
Well, he doesn't when the ball goes in the hole, and at the other end is he was not as good defensively as he's been kind of during this stretch today. Made some mistakes, wasn't making guys use ball screens. They make you guard. Again, you're going to have to guard some screening action, some ball screens, some initial action, and then you have to really lock in and be tough. And we had a lot of breakdowns at that end, and it's give them credit, they have good players, but we had a lot of scouting report mistakes today. Good. Thank you, guys.